Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael F. Bones Jr. I'm a cybersecurity graduate student at the Grand Canyon University. Today, I'll be performing vulnerability scans, and I'll be using Nikto, OWASP Zap, and Nessus to perform these scans. So for this, I'll be using my Kali box. I'll be using my Keyoptrix 2 VM, and as you always know, I also have my PFSense firewall. So first, to find out my IP address for my Keyoptrix 2, I ran ifconfig, which is my network enumeration, to find my target IP address. And I found my target IP address, which is 192.168.56.101, which is my Keyoptrix 2 VM IP address. So I never had Nikto installed, so I ran apt-get install Nikto to install Nikto on my Kali box. After I installed Nikto, I was able to run the command. I realized that port 80 and XSS, there were I found some vulnerability, which I will elaborate on my next slide. So after I ran the command, after that, I ran that command and I was able to install my OWASP Zap. To install OWASP Zap before running my scan, I ran this command to install OWASP Zap. So I'm done with the first scan using Nikto. This is the second scan using OWASP Zap. So as you can see over here, my OWASP Zap was installed and begin to run my scan. So I selected automated scan to start running my scan on my target IP address. This is the target IP address is my Keyoptrix 2 VM, which is 192.168.56.101. So I choose Keyoptrix 2 VM and this is the IP address. So after I ran my scan was conducted. The scan on the target IP address, these are the results that I got, and you can see over here, these are the results that I got after running my scan. So this is the other result. This is the second part of the result that I got after I ran my scan using OWASP Zap. So I compare and contrast Nikto versus OWASP Zap. Nikto is a command line scanning tool. OWASP Zap is a GUI-based web application security scanner. Nikto sometimes generates false positive, and OWASP Zap supports scripting. OWASP Zap can be slower than Nikto. Nikto is faster, and Nikto has a quick user setup. You can set up Nikto faster than OWASP Zap. So this is a summary of my cross-site request project, the CSRF. CSRF is an attack that deceives the victim into executing harmful requests. It capitalizes on the confidence that a web application places in the user browser. It also averts attack website and application where it's employed. In order for you to prevent this, you need to employ robust authentication mechanisms such as CSRF token or authenticate the user identity. So there's the summary of cross-site scripting. Is a vulnerability that permits an attacker to insert malicious script into web pages accessed by other users. So then we moved to Nessus. So I never had Nessus installed, so I went ahead and installed and download Nessus for the version. This is the version. The version is 10.8.3, and for the platform, because I'm using Linux, so I use a Linux DPN AMD 254. So I use the command line interface to install Nessus. These are the command that I use, and these are the these are the results I got after running the command. After that, I register my Nessus account and I install the plugins. After before that, I saved my activation code, and then I started verifying to see if my Nessus service has started. These were the command that I use, as you can see in the screenshot. So after all of that was done, I then began my scan. I utilized Nessus and then I began my scan. Over here, you see I used the quick network scan. This is the one that I use for my Nessus scan to find possible vulnerabilities on my Keyoptrix 2 VM. So after that, I select our vulnerability scan to run, which is the scan for all web vulnerability, the quick scan for all web vulnerability. So after I ran that, these are the results that I got, and they are listed in priorities. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that I got this highlighted, but at the very top is like red, which is the high, this is medium, and as you come down, the priority or how severe these things are, it reduces. So these two screenshots. It show you uh, a detailed results from my scan, detailed information from my scan. The result from my scan gave you detailed information from my scan. So I was able to list 10 possible vulnerabilities I identify SQL injection. I identify XSS, which is cross-site scripting. I identify outdated software. I identify weak password policy, information disclosure, directory traversal, CSRF, misconfigure security headers. From there, I went to my flow hypothesis methodology for key objects to the system failure to adequately validate users' input. After that, I was able to vulnerability analysis and mapping, Apache, XSS cross-site scripting, malicious scripts, and denier service. So tools and technique, the methodology employed to identify the vulnerability root cause, code review, reverse engineering, and false testing. So my research on Apache revealed that cross-site scripting was also one of the vulnerability. And I trace vulnerability to the root cause. I utilize the target methodology to ascertain the fundamental origin of vulnerability, including code review, reverse engineering, and false. So for attack vectors, I found out that there is a distributed denial of service attack on Apache 2.2.8, and I also found out that there was a distributed denial of service on port 80. So for disclosing vulnerability, you have full disclosure and you have responsible disclosure. The legal, ethical, and industrial standards regarding vulnerability disclosure is different from one location to another location. So it's advisable to report your vulnerability as soon as possible so it can be rectified or taken care of. So listed below are my references. These are the references that I use. So these are the references. Once again, thank you for watching my video presentation. I'm Raphael F. Bomusu Jr.